Welcome back, boys, to another Inside the Ginger. This one is that winter tournament. To be honest, I don't know what it's called, but I was only able to do one heat because for all the other ones I was touring Michigan State. And the reason I haven't done an Inside the Ginger in a while is because I had soccer season last season, so I literally did not play a single tournament last season. It was the first ever FNCS that I missed, and that's just the only reason why I haven't done an Inside the Ginger in a while. I also do believe this is my first ever tournament on KBM. I could be wrong. I could have done another tournament on KBM. I honestly can't remember. But either way, I'm new to KBM, new input. Obviously not going to be doing that great as far as fighting goes. And right here I make a pretty dumb decision, just not building in my back. I didn't know there was a player back there, and I get beamed because of it. I thought my teammates were with me. It turns out they were across the mountain. The reason I crossed the mountain so early in this fight is because I didn't want to get held in zone, and I wanted to get over there as quickly as possible so that we could be in a good position in this fight if we were to get third-partied. And my teammates weren't on the same page. That's on me. I should be calling that stuff out, and I didn't. Because of that, I ended up getting super weak. Didn't know this guy was down here, and I died because of it. Once again, I probably could have just built there. I was being mat conservative when I didn't need to be, and it ended up getting me killed. This fight is 100% on me. One thing to note about this tournament is you had to be level 30 in order to qualify, and I was only level 28 to start off this day. So my warm-up for this tournament was grinding Team Rumble in order to get level 30, and we actually ended up starting a little bit late because I had to play Team Rumble in order to qualify for the tournament. I wish it was some arena point thing instead of level, and that's really stupid in my opinion, but it's whatever, and we had to deal with it. Eventually, they did end up rebooting me in Colossal, but because they had to reboot me, we were absolute shambles. We were all low on mats, we had 0 hards, and we were just absolutely split up, not tunneling together. Because of that, we weren't able to get picks, get loot together. I wasn't able to use the med kits that Brandon had because we were all super split up, and that is once again 100% on me as the IGL. If I'm dying early like that and putting our team in shambles, it really just ends up costing us in the long run. So what I should have done is not died in that mid-game fight so that we all would have been 5-5-5 going into this end game and been able to just tunnel in like we always do. And then right here, I just would have had a med kit from Brandon. We would have been in the tunnel. I would have been able to pop it, and I wouldn't have been so weak in white HP, which is the reason I end up dying. Right here, I show off my wonderful KBM aim, hitting him 22 twice. Absolute laser, and he ends up pushing me backwards into zone for some reason. I end up cracking him, but because it was so laggy, I couldn't reset that wall, couldn't hit the top corner at it quite as quickly and finish him off. And because I was so low white HP, because I couldn't get that med kit, because once again we were split up the entire end game, I end up dying because of it. This whole game was scuffed because I died in that earlier mid-game fight at the waterfall, and that is 100% on me. Hopping into Game 4, some kids finally dropped on us, something we wanted to happen the whole time. As long as only 1 or 2 teams drop on us at Slurpee, we kill them every time. I don't think we have ever lost Slurpee when only 1 or 2 teams dropped there. Kids were absolute dog water. We absolutely shit on them and won Slurpee. Now, at this point in the tournament, we were way behind on points, so this game we did want a W key, but we didn't want a W key into the sand area where we'd get third-partied, fourth-partied, and we still wanted to play dead side of zone. We knew we would find players on dead side of zone because these games had enough people that there were people spread out throughout the map, and we just basically fought every team we found on dead side. Also, usually dead side teams aren't as good because usually the worst teams land edge map, and they kind of just rotate edge map and play dead side and things like that. And we were pretty confident hopping into these fights, and we ended up picking up a lot of kills, and we hopped into endgame with almost everybody at 5-5-5 mats, as well as I believe we had 9 kills going into endgame, and that is where we really started to pop off. This is something I do talk to my trio about, and that is that we need to fight teams together in these endgames. If we're all spraying together, A, we'll be able to get more shots through their walls and get more tags, and B, that'll just lead to more kills, and that means more points and more refreshes. Right there, Drizzy called me an idiot because he wanted me to edit the floor. I was not on the same page as him. That is on me, but he did end up getting the knock eventually anyways. Didn't really mean a big deal. I knew this team was weak, so I really wanted to get in, but I also do not want to hop into his box because that just leads to one pumps. That's not really something you want to do endgame. Once again, show off my beautiful KBM accuracy, and we we do pick up that elim, and this is the refresh we need to set us up for the rest of the endgame. The second we get that elimination, I know we need to start rotating because we are back of zone. You never want to be back of zone. Right here, chopping out height was the right idea, but I should have had my teammates do it instead of me because I need to be the one tunneling and getting us into a good position. So I should have calmed for them too, and I accidentally dropped down to low ground there because my stair didn't place. Once again, it's a laggy endgame. And this is the most important tunnel you guys need to know how to do. That is, get yourself edge map and just place a floor and a stair. You're cutting off every angle because the zone is basically another wall for you. Nobody's going to be on that side of zone, and nobody's going to shoot you from that direction. So you're using like 2/5 of the mats of what you would normally use. You're saving tons of mats, as well as it's super easy to peek because you can hold and edit on the stair and see through the stair, which is something you'll see me do in a few minutes here. And that means that you can basically see players, they can't see you, and then you can get free beams on them. So right here, I'm looking through the stair. And I should have reset this stair and looked through that instead of having it left open. But it's not a huge deal. I didn't get beamed because of it. And when you're looking through those stairs, you can basically find free beams on players that don't even know you're there, which is why that tunnel is so ridiculously OP. Now, this is a mistake on me. It's not a huge mistake, but it does lead to us losing a few mats and taking some damage, and that is the second zone pulls. I need to make sure I'm tunneling ahead. Because we ended up just a little bit behind here, we're just a little bit easier targets, and we end up taking just a little bit more damage. And the reason the damage is bad isn't because I'm a little bit weaker, because I have plenty of meds and I can just pop those. The problem is I'm wasting 20 seconds popping those meds, and in those 20 seconds I'm not tunneling for my team, I'm not getting us in good positioning, as well as I'm not looking for kills and getting those kills. And just like that, zone pulls far, and because I had to pop those meds, we're just a little bit later in getting ahead of zone, which once again leads to us taking even more damage. So that is why you need to make sure that you tunnel ahead as soon as possible. It's not a huge deal, but it would have saved us a little bit more meds and a lot more time here. Once again, same thing here on that tack shot. It's not my job to be getting kills. That's our fragger. That's our support's job. I need to make sure that I'm ahead, and because I looked for that, I was a little bit later getting in front of zone, and I ended up getting beamed once again. So that's just something I need to work on, and that is one of the major takeaways that I want you to take away from this video. Now, at this point, it's a 2v1, or a 2v2, sorry, and Drizzy's alive. So I could go walk in zone and die, make it a 1v2, and Drizzy would still win this game. There's zero chance we lose this, and because of my overconfidence, I make so many dumb mistakes in this 2v2. And you'll pick up on those. I'll walk you through them when they happen. Right there, I had 500 wood, and I just picked up 250 metal. I had max mats at this point in the game, and I wasn't just overbuilding, and I allowed myself to get shockwaved out. That was a dumb decision on me, and I'm sure Drizzy had a lot of mats here too, so he should have done the same thing, but I need to be smarter than that. Right there, poor accuracy, not a huge deal, it was the right edit and everything, and then Drizzy gets a knock to make it a 2v1. The guy riffs up, and anytime a guy riffs up, he's a free beam. I missed all of my shots on him. That's just, I don't know if it was nerves or overconfidence, but that's something that can't happen. And then I leave a wall open and allow myself to get knocked. Once again, Drizzy 1v2s them. We were obviously going to win it. Drizzy was alive. But a few dumb mistakes could have thrown that game. And we had 19 kills and the win. And I had a fat 0 of them. But it was a great game. And I definitely played my part as far as tunneling and calling out the mid-game rotates and things like that. Now, at this point, we were on pace to qualify. If we do just as good in our last 3 games as we did in our first 3, we would qualify, so we just have to keep playing our game. If we get another pop-off win like we did in the previous game, we're totally fine, and we're in a great position to qualify for the second round in this tournament. And we always do better in the second round because we're better in stackers, because we're smarter than every other team. So all we have to do is make it there, and the rest is easy. Real quick, I want you to watch Brandon's piece control here. He takes the wall, he takes the stair, I edit for him, and then I miss like 3 shots straight. Great piece control by Brandon, beautiful job. I did the right thing editing so he can take the shot, but unfortunately I missed mine. It was overall a wonderful job by Brandon, but I just keep showing off that beautiful KBM accuracy I have. Once again, if I had controller aim assist or I was on my main input, this tournament would be 100% different. I just wanted to remind you guys that I'm on KBM, so don't bully me if my mechanics look bad in this video. Now, the way me and Drizzy died, leaving Brandon alone in this endgame, I'm not quite sure what happened, but I left to get a drop like 3 tiles away, and then all of a sudden Drizzy was dead. I'm not sure if it was Drizzy's fault. I'm not sure if it was Brandon's fault. I'm not sure if it was my fault. I'm not 100% sure what happened, but all I know is it left us in a 2v3. I ended up dying. Brandon ended up getting away, and I tried coaching him in this endgame. If you can't tell by watching me, I was a bit frustrated. He wouldn't go where I wanted him to, and it's not a huge deal. He's not an IGL. He's not a tunneler, but he is a controller player. As you can see, he deals like 500 damage in the matter of a couple seconds here. So that is why he's on our trio, but I really wanted him to do that stair tarp that I was talking about earlier, and you can tell I'm kind of laughing about what happened in that end game, just because all he had to do was tunnel in and he would have been fine. But unfortunately, that is not what happened, and he ended up dying. Now, for both me and Drizzy, we didn't know that was attack. We thought it was AR ammo and shotgun ammo, and I knew I won the drop for the SMG. Unfortunately, we were wrong. I die. They end up dying because it's a 3v2, and we die off spawn for the first time in this tournament. Right here, I get dinked as I'm falling. Pretty unfortunate, but once again, if I have a better drop, it's not going to happen, and then I lose the tack fight. I was weaker to start off, but I probably would have lost anyways because I ended up missing my shot regardless. We left Drizzy alone basically for this endgame. Not quite sure what his play was going up on that rock because he kind of put himself open for a beam, and then it's a 3v1. Not much he can do about it, and we basically threw our last 3 games of the tournament. Now, this is the most important part of the video. This is going to be a quick recap on everything I learned from this tournament. So the first thing was this fight. I learned 2 things. 1, don't be mat conservative in fights. Remember from the pistol beam, I didn't build off my back. That would have saved me 150 health if I had simply done that. And then down here, I don't build the wall. And the second thing I learned was just fight with your teammates. Make sure your teammates are with you. Obviously, that part wasn't 100% on me because I did call for the zip line over, but I do need to make sure that my teammates are with me. Number 2 is this stair tarp. I covered it earlier in the video, but it's very important that you guys learn that tarp. Number 4 is not looking for kills. Remember, I look for these kills and I don't get ahead, and in just a few seconds here I end up getting beamed because of it. So if you are IGL, do not look for kills. It is not your job unless you are already ahead of zone. The final thing is, and this doesn't pertain to everybody, but it does to us, survive off spawn. Put yourself in a position where you can survive off spawn. We had 0 reason to drop Slurpee in those last few games. We're doing great. We should have played our normal game and dropped Shark. And if we would have just done that, we wouldn't have thrown our last few games, and we probably would have qualified for round 2. I hope this video helped you guys out. I love you all. I'm out. Peace.